What's up, YouTube? This is Yasuke Lives. Uh, let's just go ahead and get started from the beginning. Actually, there's a couple of things we could talk about, but we're going to start from the beginning. Who was Yasuke? Yasuke was, as far as history can tell, the only black samurai that served underneath the Lord Oda during his reign. So, seeing as how I have a flair for well, hell, I just have a love for all things Japanese. And, I do know the history behind my ethnicity, obviously, which, if you can't tell, African American. I chose that name. Now, the purpose of this channel is to cover some prepping techniques, which, number one, I'm not like a super serious prepper. Although now I'm trying to move more into it. I should have moved more into it back then, but because of me focusing on surviving in the corporate world, and then here we are now in the midst of this thing that shall not be named. Uh, I've been getting a little bit more serious about my prepping. That being said, I was following a couple of channels even way before this even happened. I've had firearms way before it even got to this point. And I've had certain things prepped again way before it even got to this point. It's just now I'm trying to get a little bit more of a firm understanding and firm direction of what the purpose of my prepping is. Now, the thing that really made me curious about prepping is the fact that why don't we see a lot of black slash African American preppers on YouTube? Which I'm not saying that there is a racial issue with prepping. I'm just saying that why are there not more of us out there? And if there are, why are we not making videos as well to try and help the community out in general? I follow several channels. I love the Warrior Poet Society. I love Demolition Ranch. Vigilance Elite is one that I've recently started following. And don't get me wrong, it's not just going to be a prepper channel. I mean, because hell, the Second Amendment is always under attack. And the Second Amendment, seeing as how that I've purchased a couple of firearms myself, is something that I'm interested in because I'm not trying to say that I'm going to go out and, we're going to shoot everybody. No, that's not the case. That's not what this channel is about. This channel is about defense. At the end of the day, most people view guns or firearms as a tool, which is my perspective. Other people view it as a weapon. Other people view it as something to go and seek a personal vendetta against somebody. That's not why I'm making this channel. Anything that I show on this channel is a tool. Oh, aside from, the geek stuff. Because I'm a geek, if you hadn't noticed. Why the Punisher? Why the skull? Oh, he likes death. No. I like what the Punisher stands for and his backstory and why he does what he does. Now, I'm not saying that going out being a vigilante and punishing people for the crimes that they've committed is the way that everyone in America should go. No. The Punisher, Frank Castle, if you aren't familiar with the comic book, has a mindset to do what he does in order to make sure that others in society do not have to suffer what he has gone through. Because if you're not familiar with the history of the Punisher, Frank Castle was a former military man. I mean, he was very decorated. He came home. He was spending time with his family in the park, and his family was gunned down by I think it was a mafia family, the crime syndicate. Basically, people who shouldn't have been doing bad in the park in general. Frank Castle survived. And from then on, especially seeing as how he couldn't really get any help from the, ironically enough, police force that he worked for, he just decided to go and do his own thing. And again, I'm not saying that you should go out and take the justice system into your own hands. What I'm saying is that you need to look at the mindset that Frank Castle had and apply it to not just yourself, but to your family as well. What will you do to make sure that you as a person and you as the head of your family can make sure that everything will go as well off as it can? Because there's going to be a SHTF situation. This may be the beginning of one. This may not be the beginning of one. This may be the situation in general. You never know. But back to the purpose of this channel, again, which is not racially motivated, but is one that we as Black people should think about. What are you doing to make sure that you're prepared? Something to think about. But until then, this has been Yasuke Lives. Stay tuned and remember, hold the line.